Hey guys, what's going on? Garynex here, bringing you another video on 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross. The patch note is out, so let's have a look. The characters that are coming tomorrow will be both green and blue versions of Drole, so we will take a look at their skills in a little bit. There will be a new event called the Top 5 Moments We Remember. Clear the main story and important events again for all kinds of rewards, so we can find the stronger versions of the bosses that we have already seen in the story quest. Some other events include double the player rank EXP, double auto clear ticket from patrol missions, play count event rewards increase, and deathmatch victory reward times 2. There will be new costumes for Drole available in the cosmetics shops, and we have some bundles for our paying players. Drole, Simon and Dogedo will be getting their UR gears. Green Gloxinia will be added to the Part 2 banner and also Race Draw banner, and these events will be ending after the maintenance. So if there is anything that you haven't picked up yet, please pick them up before the maintenance tomorrow. And there are some bug fixes for the final boss Taizu. Now let's take a look at both versions of Drole, starting with Green Drole. So his first skill inflicts detonate damage equals to 160% of attack on one enemy on rank 1. On rank 2 is 240% and on rank 3 is 400%. And detonate deals 20% additional damage per orb in a target's ultimate move gauge. His second skill inflicts damage equals to 120% of attack on all enemies on rank 1. On rank 2 is 120% of attack on all enemies, disable buff and debuff skills for 1 turn. And on rank 3 is 180% of attack on all enemies, disable buff and debuff skills for 2 turns. His ultimate inflicts charge damage equals to 455% of attack on all enemies, this is 1/6. If you get him up to 6/6, the multiplier goes up to 683%, and charge ignores defense. His passive, every time an enemy's ultimate move gauge reaches 5, disables ultimate moves for 2 turns. And his commandment, apply a buff that increases resistance by 30% for 3 turns every time an ally or enemy receives damage from skills in PvP. Applies when entering battles, limit to 3 times. Green Drole's most valuable kit will be his passive. This counters the Ult Rush team by disabling their ults altogether for 2 turns. Combining this with his first skill, which has Detonate, he's giving himself a 2-turn boost in damage because the enemy will have full ult gauge for 2 turns. However, his attack related stats are not very high, so the increased damage may not be very high as well. His commandment is very defensive, so I would go with a more defensive build for him. So gear wise, I would go with HP defense so he can survive longer and utilize his passive to annoy the hell out of people. Now let's take a look at Blue Drole. So his first skill inflicts damage equals to 200% of attack on one enemy on rank 1. On rank 2 is 200% of attack and petrifies for 1 turn, and on rank 3 is 250% of attack and petrifies for 2 turns. His second skill taunts enemies and increase HP related stats by 15% for 1 turn, becomes immune to petrification's effect. On rank 2 is 20% for 2 turns, and on rank 3 is 30% for 2 turns. And his ultimate is the same, inflicts charge damage equals to 455% of attack on all enemies, this is 1/6. If you get him up to 6/6, the multiplier goes up to 683%. His passive increases allies' attack by 3% for every buff on the hero. And his commandment is the same, apply a buff that increases resistance by 30% for 3 turns every time an ally or enemy receives damage from skills in PvP. Blue Drole's entire kit is screaming utility, and we all know how useful Taunt is in PvP, as we have seen from characters like Esterosa or even Red Gil Thunder. Not to mention, his Taunt actually gives him an HP related stats buff, his commandment also gives him a resistance buff, and all this contributes to his passive, which in turn boosts up your entire team's attack. So there's a lot of utility in his kit. Gear wise, I would definitely go with HP defense so he can stay alive for as long as possible for all these utilities. So, should you summon for Green and Blue Drole? I would say yes, you should summon if you're a whale and a collector. Yes, you should summon if somehow a 4-handed giant is your husbando. And yes, you should summon for Blue Drole if you are very much into PvP. Apart from that, you should skip this banner and save for the next festival banner, which is for Wing King. If you are still interested in getting Blue Drole for PvP, he will be in the coin shop a month later, so you still have a chance of picking him up. So that's all the information we have in this patch note. I hope this video gives you some insights on both versions of Drole so you can make a smart decision yourself. Join my Discord if you wish to discuss more about Drole or the game in general, link will be in the description below. And as always, like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. That's it for today, take care and have a great day ahead.